Hi there, my name is Sheila Beck and indeed Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've just read an article from Vox magazine from 4 years ago. Now, why? Why would I read an article from Vox magazine from 4 years ago? Because Emily Cook, the woman who started these Doctor Who tweet-alongs, watch-alongs, and yeah, I think has done a fantastic job with that. I think it was really, a lot of them have been really good. Posted it. Now, the reason she posted this article talks about fandom and fundamentalists, and it's trying, I think, honestly, to understand what's going on with fandom right now. Even though it's from 4 years ago, so everything's developed. Yeah, I think she's really. I think it's a response to the flack that she's received in the last week or so after the Human Nature and Family Blood watch along, because idiot Paul Cornell that he was who wrote the episode went on Twitter at the beginning of it and said, "Oh, I want this to be a wonderful unifying thing that brings all fans together and all be lovely and yummy." And so half of you can sod off, and he blocked it. He did a mass chain block on a bunch of people, and I just found that kind of like vile, vile and hypocritical, and I think it really took the sheen, that wonderful enjoyment of the tweet along. And I think she's received quite a bit of flack for it, which is probably why she posted this article. Now, I just want to take an aside to say, people are saying, why are we even talking about this? Why are we still talking about Paul Cornell? Why is he living in your head rent free? Honestly, I don't think he is. I think I'm just reporting on something that's going on in fandom. It really doesn't bother me that I think this person is of extremely low character. It doesn't impinge on my everyday life. It doesn't even impinge on my ability to enjoy his work. It's very important to separate the art from the artist. I think so. It has very little effect. I'm just reporting on it because it is a thing in fandom. It's a thing in fandom because he made it a thing in fandom because he's a freaking idiot. But again, him being an idiot doesn't really impact me. It doesn't bother me that he's if I was going to get insanely annoyed by everybody I thought was an idiot, I would be insane by now because most people are. Okay, that's just the reality. Most people are stupid. So sorry to break it to you if you're one of the moronic masses out there, but most people are stupid. Now, I think you get about 10-20% of people aren't insanely dumb, but most people are on the dumber side, I think, most of the time. Myself included, actually, in all fairness. Now, also going on, there's been a lot of Twitter intrigue. And again, I'm not really on Twitter. The only reason I go on Twitter is because of the channel. I need it to see what the news is and interact with people and promote my videos. Yeah, it's a really necessary, but I don't. People can call me anything they want on Twitter. They can call and it doesn't matter because who cares? Who cares? Anyway, but there's been a major Twitter spat going on between Philip Morris, the guy who found the lost episodes, Enemy of the World, and Web of Fear, I think. Yeah, Web of Fear. Yeah, was it? No, Web of Fear. Definitely Web of Fear. Great stories. And like Tom Spilsbury, who the editor of Doctor Who magazine. I don't know what the reality is. I don't know what the deal is with this spat. Listen, I've looked through both their timelines and everybody seems to be saying reasonable things to me. So yeah, hopefully I'll have somebody who knows more about it. Could bring me up to speed and educate me. It just seems to me everybody's saying reasonable things right now. So okay. So I really don't know what the source of that spat is. I do know, however, generally speaking, things on Philip Morris's timeline, I generally agree with. He seems to hate the current era of Doctor Who. Duh, yeah. But we seem to be aligned in a lot of other ways. I just haven't seen anything that he said there that I think is wrong or objectionable. That is not to say that he didn't. I just don't know about it. Again, ignorance is not a good thing. And if I find out more about it, I will indeed report back. Fine. Anyway, that's the setting for Emily Cook posting this article from 6 years ago talking about fandom on Vox, which we're going to go through right now. And I think it was written like. Honestly, I think it was written as like an honest investigation into what's going on. But I think it buys into a lot of insane tropes, sadly, which we all know isn't true. So let's go through it together and see where we agree and see where we disagree. But beforehand, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? That'll be fan-dabby double dozy. Thank you so much for all your support. I am genuinely grateful. I give stuff away on the channel. I'm giving this away tonight, so you got to be quick. Got not one, not two, but three prizes this week. I guess we give away new prizes each week. So the first prize is Big Finish, The High Price of Parking, starring Sylvester McCoy. The second prize is another Big Finish disc, Cortex Fire and Vortex Ice, starring Colin Baker and Lisa Greenwood. And thirdly, I think the best one of the batch is Peter Davison and Sarah Sutton as Fifth Doctor and Nyssa in Alien Heart and Dalek Soul. All you need to do to win these fantastic prizes, these fabulous prizes, is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the very important part from my perspective. Subscribe to the channel and then leave the hashtag We Love Stories, because we do indeed love stories, because we love Big Finish. That's their tagline. Also, if you go to the video notes, it'll give you all the information. We're giving these away tonight, so you got to get in there quick. Go to the video notes. It has all the information on what you need to win. Also, there is another free Doctor Who audio adventure you can download right now, starring Nicholas Briggs as the Doctor. It's from the mid to late 80s. What's this one called? Deadfall, and I change them once every couple of weeks or so. Yeah, go ahead, download it, share and enjoy, baby. Share and enjoy. Fine, so let's look at this article. Let's turn this on. Doink! Vox. Again, this is 4 years old, and I think the world has moved on quite a bit since then. Fandom can be weird and alienating. Yes, indeed. Fine. So, your first sentence, we're agreeing with. That's very good. Who's writing this? Emily Vanderwerf. Whatever. But it's driving the conversation in crucial ways. Okay. First, the headline. We're in agreement with that. It's really good news. Fundamentalists are bad. Yeah, but I don't think they're the force that you probably think they are. But they shouldn't define the entire picture of fandom. Well, there is one very disingenuous part of fandom that is trying to do that, just to make themselves seem less ridiculous. and much better people, which they're not. Fine. So this is, again, from June 9th, 2016. So this is before the 2016 election, so there's probably going to be slightly less insanity there, but you can see it bubbling under the surface. Fine, let's go for it. As a professional critic, I am naturally a little suspicious of fandom. I can imagine, because fandoms are pretty suspicious of you guys, because you guys have blown it in such a big freaking way. You guys have so blown it. You've been shills, and you've been ideological shills, which is even worse. There's this a lot of ideology has been inserted into our entertainment, and people call it out. Often get called istophobes or racist or whatever. Often by fans who share the same ideological bias. So you guys are really bad. And if you're not shilling for ideological reasons, you're shilling for money. You're shilling for access. So you've made yourself into an irrelevancy. So I'm sorry about that. Fans are basically abandon critics and become their own fans. Ergo, become their own critics. Ergo, this channel. It seems at times diametrically opposed to the sort of analysis that is my stock in trade. Okay, a little bit of superiority there. And that's another great thing that we love about critics. How they've been pulled down a peg or two. Because I don't care how wonderful you think you are. Do your freaking job, which you haven't been. Even when fandom is being critical, it often comes from a place of optimism and devotion. Yes, okay, I agree there completely. It does come from a place of optimism and devotion. I really wanted to be on board for Doctor Who season 11, 12, and I tried my darndest. I really wanted to like Star Trek Discovery, and I did indeed try my darndest. But they just made it too excruciatingly awful for even me, who absolutely loves Star Trek and Doctor Who, to say, "Oh, I love this too." Yeah, they made it too. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. They did a terrible job, but they did. Okay, so it does come from a place of optimism and devotion. One that centers on the hope that the blood property might stop effing everything up and start being good again. No. That's only when they make him awful, okay? Yeah, you'll find from 2005 to minimally 2015, I would argue 2017, we were all very, 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 very happy with Doctor Who at the time. We were all mostly. Fandom was very, very positive about Doctor Who, and we were just like loving this golden age that we were living in. That we really didn't realize how wonderful it was until it was taken away from us. You never know what you have until you use it. So we're not desperate for it. We're not always desperate for it to be great again. We're just desperate to make it so it's not hateful and repellent to us. And when you don't do that, Boy, do we give you our money? Do we give you our support? Look at the Mandalorian. Star Wars screwed over the audience over and over again. They finally made something that somebody wanted. Something that wasn't alienating, and we all liked it. It's not hard. It's not hard. Well, it probably is hard, but just the theory isn't hard to get your heads around. People aren't critical of things for no reason. They're critical of things because they're normally awful. Critics might feel this way from time to time, but we imagine ourselves to be more distant, to have more distance, and at least adopt a posture well, you've kind of failed in that, haven't you? Again, all your like lofty, what's the word, elitism, didn't really pay out, did it? Didn't really come through in your final product, which again, you just completely discredited yourself over the last few years. This suspicion from critics has only increased in the age of social media. Yes, when you stopped having a monopoly on the national conversation, on the international conversation, and the little people, people like me, so you can start to get a word in. Somewhat unfairly, I might add, due to the fact that fandom is now seemingly everywhere. Again, 2016, this was the height of the MCU. This was, people were so excited that how much money they could make with fandom. It went everywhere, unfortunately. So I think hopefully this is going to peter out over the next few years when they finally get used to not making tons of money and then move on to something else. The rise of the fundamentalists. As my colleague Caroline Franke pointed out, more and more creators are growing more and more unnerved by the amount of power that their fan bases have on social media. In other words, they can't get away with crap. And again, this seems to be coming from the premise that the fan bases will always attack their fandom. No. Again, 2005 to 2015, Doctor Who, The Mandalorian. No, do something good. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog did very well. They listened to their fandom rather than call them Islamphobes and say, "Oh, it's beneath us to listen to you." And as a result, they had one of the biggest opening for a video game adaptation movie as ever happened, as opposed to Birds of Prey that went for exactly the normal route, go, "Ew, racist, sexist," and it vanished from trace, completely from trace. We don't want to make it about the male gaze, idiots. It really is. It's such incredible idiocy and puritanism. It's beyond belief. Well, which is beyond belief, but it's happening outside my door, so I believe it. Social media, and I was talking about a completely unrelated topic with an executive at a major cable channel who handed me a leaflet produced by an outside research firm who clearly failed. Who clearly failed over the last few years. That was all about common fandom terms like OTP. I don't know what OTP means. Oh, am I a real fan? What is OTP? Original Tomorrow People? I don't know. Somebody in the comments, let me know, please. And Mary Sue, I know. Okay, there you go. I'm half a fan then. I promise you, I'm not making it up. I don't think you're making it up. This is all true. Twitter especially has made fans more visible than ever, and they will let you know they aren't happy with how things go. Yes, we are. It's called freedom of speech, idiots. I'm sorry you don't like it. I'm sorry you kind of liked it when it wasn't directed at you, but now it's directed at you. You got to step up your game. I'm sorry. And listen, if you don't have a thick skin, do not be in any form of commercial creative endeavor. You will when you put something out there, you will always get people that hate it. You can't let yourself be defined. Actually, hats off to Chris Chibnall. He doesn't. He's the showrunner Doctor Who, obviously, and he is acting like his iteration of Doctor Who is David Tennant at its prime. He is acting like it's so popular. About the Doctor Who magazine, they had a column about how the that little video, that awful video that Jodie made in a closet to calm the children down. How that was made. They truly believe that the children need support. They need support of their doctor. No, everybody hates this doctor. She's the least popular doctor, I think, of all time, and she's getting less popular by the second. But okay, carry on. I don't. I also listen to Big Finish, I guess. I'm not going to. Things are going fine. This has led to a lot of grouchy grumbling from us critic types. Yes, because you don't have the monopoly anymore, who are worried about whether fan consumerism or the demands of what they say of what some say is fan entitlement will ruin artistic integrity. Yeah, no, I think what's ruined artistic integrity is the injection of ideology into their art, and that really is the bottom line. Yeah. Honestly, this is not an all or nothing situation. I think you should be aware of what the fandom wants, or have an idea of what what the fandom is you're working, what the franchise is you're working. You should have an idea about that, and you should have an idea about the canon and the history. But I don't think you should be, slavishly confined by it, because that does indeed, ruin artistic integrity. But finding ways of telling your stories within canon, or at least mostly within canon, so it's not really. So you have, instead of here plot holes, you have nitpicks. Nitpicks we can live with. Nitpicks everybody can live with. Well, plot hole, no. Plot hole make the whole thing fall apart. So, okay, fine. We will ruin it here. I don't really think that either of these concerns are big. Okay, fine. I just wasted time waffling and we're agreeing again. Okay, good for you. But I did think the uproar that led to a different ending for the game Mass Effect 3. I remember that people were pissed off. Was pretty stupid. Why? Why do you think that's pretty stupid? Why is it wrong to give your paying customers what they're paying for? I understand that you want to tell stories. So if you want to tell a story that you think somewhat controversial, don't do it in an existing fandom, in an existing franchise, which has parameters already set in. Make something new. But the problem is, you just want to get your ideological message out. I think that's part of the problem. You just want to get your ideological message out and perform social engineering. You're not interested in actually telling a story. You're interested in social engineering, and also the people who own these properties. They don't know why they are successful. They just know you put something out with Doctor Who on it, you put something out with Star Trek on it, and people like it. We don't know why. It seems stupid, it seems silly, but people always like it. So we can put anything with that on it. Guess not. Maybe your research should have told you that. But it gave you a sense of what's coming. It was pretty stupid to give you a sense of where I'm coming from. I don't think it was stupid. I think you're I don't think you live in a world where people have to earn a living, okay? You have to give people something to get something back to get their money in return. Oh, it's really not complicated. But I think there's something else going on here, which is that fandom, a large and sometimes unruly place in greed, with lots of lots of individual subgroups, is being defined by the very worst members. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's the exact opposite of what you think. It is being defined by the worst members, the social justice warriors, the blue check marks on Twitter, the Twitterati. They're the ones who are saying things like, "Oh, if you don't like Star Wars or Star Trek, it's because you are a fundamentally bigoted person." They're the ones who are defining fandom, and they're doing a pretty terrible job at doing it. Defined by many individual subject is being defined by worst mode. Okay, a 14-year-old in Kansas posting her first supernatural fictive fanfiction.net isn't hurting anyone but those who rail against fandom often lump her in with the angry halls of entitled, mostly men. There we go. Mostly men behind movements like Gamergate and the anger surrounding the all-female Ghostbusters. Excuse me, are you a critic or not? That all-female Ghostbusters movie didn't tank because it was all-female. It tanked because it was objectionably boring. It wasn't funny. I'm sorry, and I'm not one of them to say opinion that women can't be funny or women can't play Ghostbusters. Who cares? We want it to be funny. We want it to feel like the franchise. I'm sorry that it didn't. I'm sorry that it didn't. I'm sorry that we're mad that we wanted to give you. I'm sorry. Yeah, fans got mad. We wanted to give you money. We wanted to support you, and you didn't listen to us, and now we can't, and we've all lost. It's a lose-lose. You lose because Ghostbusters failed financially. You lose. We lose because we had hope of having something that we really wanted and loved, and you took it away from us. We're all losing because you're not making things. You're not making things to appeal to people. Oh my God, who want it? I've been thinking about how often these sorts of zealous movements are defined by the bad apples in their midst, from religious fundamentalists to Bernie Bros. It doesn't matter how fair it is; it only matters that the squeakiest wheel tends to get the media coverage again, which is the Twitterati, the ones that say, "Oh, we're being attacked by racists. Oh, you're so non-inclusional." And angry nerd bros are very squeaky wheels. Yeah, we are. Yeah, okay, fine, we are. Although I have to tell you, what do you think would happen if the Football Association of England, or whatever it's called, say, okay, soccer isn't diverse enough. Soccer is no longer diverse enough. We need to have 50% female players in every team, because it's lacking diversity. We need to have quotas and agendas for people of differing beliefs and skin colors, and because like half the team is physically weaker, anybody who has a male who has a significant physical strength advantage must wear weights on their ankles. How do you think that would go down? How do you think that would go? And how do you think that's in any way different from Star Trek, Star Wars, or Doctor Who? How is it any different? It's not. It's the same thing. And again, and would you have any trouble understanding how soccer fans might be a little bit miffed at your idiocy? I don't think you'd have any trouble with that. If we think of fandom as a large religion containing many denominations, one second, I missed the line. Let's face it, let's call them fundamentalists. Yes, I hate myself a little right now. Well, okay, fine. I'm not going to dissuade you that. If we think of fandom as a large religion containing many denominations, and why not? That's fair enough. Then the fundamentals are those who are of a very strict code. For who can and cannot be found. No, this is exactly the opposite of reality. The gatekeepers are Paul Cornell. I'm happy to let anybody. I don't care if somebody likes this era of Doctor Who. Good for them. Write fanfic about it. Enjoy it. Revel in it. I am happy for anybody to be happy. No. This is the fundamental problem, that you have a group of new people come into a fandom and they say, we want to fundamentally change it. Yeah, we want to take soccer. We want to make it so it's 50% female and it has complete diversity. And we don't care what it does, because that's more important. And if you argue with us, you're a racist and you need to get out. You see, they're the gatekeepers, not the other side. This is the exact inverse of reality. It doesn't matter how many non-fundamentalist fans are out there. Too many media. Too many in the media. The worst fans are the ones we can see, and the ones and we leap too easily to painting. We leap too easily to painting with the broadest brush possible. Again, the inverse of reality. The people you're championing are the people doing exactly what you're saying. Is fandom broken? It really depends on whom. It really depends on whom you're looking at. In David Farich's hugely discussed piece, oh yes, we've all discussed it. Fandom is broken, for example. Ferretti primarily argues that fandom is broken via the prism of Ghostbusters pushback. Again, it's because it was shit. My God, this is why nobody listens to you reviewers anymore. Because it was objectively awful. And the people who sent angry death threats to people at Marvel who crafted Captain America Goes Hydra story. Well, what about the people who just felt disenfranchised about the storyline? What about the people, which were far more than people who sent death threats, who just said, I don't want to buy this anymore? What about all those people? And we, again, comic book industry has lost, 60% of its readership since the time of writing this article. Or, this is when it started, the Captain America Goes Hydra storyline. Yeah, I'm sorry that we're not playing ball with your ideology. I'm sorry. But if you make these things readable, you make these things watchable, you make these things enjoyable, you can get away with anything. You can do anything. And I can give you countless of examples of franchises being fundamentally changed and built onto without fandom going crazy and hating. And we all can, because we're all there. And this person is clearly an outsider who's been drinking the Kool-Aid that she's been fed. But it goes Freddy's the devil. But it goes beyond that to pull in everything from fan fiction to give Elsa to the give Elsa a girlfriend movement. I have no idea what. Oh, it must be about Frozen. I'd never seen Frozen. My kids were too old, thank God, at the time. Which refers to the popular love interestless princess in Frozen. I know. Who was it? I think I know why. Farishi feels the way he does because he's got an ideological agenda which he's trying to justify. Because I've experimented with the same things myself. When a dude of a certain age writing on the internet, you primarily filter your understandings. Your primary filter for understanding fandom is almost always set to a certain volume, which might as well be ain't it cool news comments section in 2002. What? Who cares? You're waffling. Be quiet. The fans who populated that seminal geek movie news and discussion site are on the cusp of finding the entertainment industry catering to their every whim. Oh yeah, actually that they did have news. That's when they first found the power. Really were entitled, and they really did react angrily to a great many things, and they did often really get in their way. I can't comment. I don't know. I don't really recall. All I know is since this article was written, the creators and the audiences have been at loggerheads. Yeah, that's just the reality. That's what really happened. They were the original online fundamentalists, and it's easy to identify the elements of discussion that will grow into the negative aspects of fandom we see today. Oh God, I'm waffling on a bit here. Shall we do have to read all of this? How much more? Oh, okay, no. What? One more little bit to go. Fine, we're in the final stretch, guys. We can finish this. Don't define all fandom by the worst elements. Okay, that's probably good advice. But the internet in 2016 is a very different place from 2002. That is true, to say the least. And you should have seen it 4 years later, mate. And the more I see campaigns like "Give Elsa a Girlfriend," the more I realize that while there are some people out there who will literally think it's somehow anti-progressive if Frozen 2 doesn't end with Elsa having a female love interest, when so much of the film's original freshness came from not giving her a love interest at all. The actual goal of the campaign, of a campaign like this, is to have conversations about how terrible Hollywood is at telling stories about how the world they live in actually looks. Yeah, not really. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's what they. I think they had an idea of how they wanted the world to be, how they want the world to be, and they're trying to socially engineer that world into being. That's, I think, I don't think you can convincingly say immediately it doesn't reflect the realities of that multicultural world that we live in, because it does. It really does. And I don't. And the more you try and enforce it, the worse it gets. The more racist get. Again, Doctor Who season 11, 12 proves that beyond any shadow of a doubt. Put another way, the Ghostbusters kerfuffle is driven by the idea that drawing a bright line in the sand that nobody can cross. Yes, you make shit, and we won't buy your shit. I don't care what logo you put in your shit. We will not come and see your shit, and we will not pay you for your shit, no matter what logo you put on it. I don't care if you fill it with women. I don't care if you fill it with minorities and diversity. I don't care. If you make it shit, nothing compensates for that. Certain things cannot be done. Yes, making shit. Certain people are not to be the stars of prophecy. Utter nonsense. That is not the case at all. Nobody cares about Finn's skin color or Rabel's. Nobody cared. They just cared that it was shit. There are deeply important traditions we hold that can never be questioned. No, this is not a tradition that James Bond, for example, is a white male from an ancient British aristocratical heritage. That is not a tradition. That's the definition of the character. Oh, but Give Us a Girlfriend. Yeah, again, let's see what I was going to say before I rip into it. But Give Us a Girlfriend is driven by asking the questions why there are lines in the sand in the first place. It's not saying why isn't Elsa queen. It's saying why is the idea of a queer princess so hard for Hollywood to wrap their heads around the first? It's not. Okay, you want to make a movie about anything you want. That's fine. You want to come and try and shoehorn something into something else. If it doesn't fit, and if the audience doesn't want it, and the audience aren't interested in it, shut up. It's not going to work. You are just agenderizing to us rather than entertaining us. And we're paying you to entertain us. So get back to work and do your damn job. I'm still learning about all this stuff. I think you probably got a bit of an education here. I'll confess that writing and reading fanfic will never be my cup of tea. Okay, fine, I have too much TV to watch, but I'm annoyed by the idea that fandom should only be defined by its worst elements, which it is. Again, the Twitterati define fandom. They call people like me, they call people I know well, racist, they call us bigots, they call us sexist, and it's not, and they just say it because we don't like the shit that they're making. And we're not prepared to give it a pass because you make it female-centric. We're not prepared to give it a pass because it's got this ridiculous diversity shoehorned into it. We're not prepared to give it a pass for that. If you make it good, it will be accepted. But you make shit, you get shit. But I'm annoyed by the human West adherence to those who seek to tear down was it any cultural artifact not constructed to appeal only to them. Again, utter nod. The only thing I want it constructed to appeal to me is not making it awful. I'm sorry, objectively, Doctor Who season 12. I can understand why people might think. I can understand people how would think the first episode was entertaining. Okay, maybe even the first two. Yeah, but after that, my God, these are all objectively awful episodes. Orphan 55, episode 3 of season 12. The only way you could say that wasn't an excruciating hour of television is if you are in fact in love with the ideology of Greta Thunberg and you want to see that displayed on the screen as much as possible. That's the only. You're not viewing this thing objectively, dispassionately. No, because you are shills, and that's why nobody listens to reviewers anymore. But at its core, fandom is a movement about building new antechambers onto old spaces to make room for more and more people. It can be chaotic and rude. It can even be intolerable. But one of the central ideals is to make entertainment better. Yeah, not really. It hasn't. They again, this is before. This was the beginning of the real invasion of our culture. And hey, that sounds like a lot of criticism to me. So again, the fundamental problem. This is how I replied to Emily Cook when she posted on Twitter. I said, yeah, the problem comes when you have a new area of fandom, that new group of fandom that come into the fandom, and then they say they want to fundamentally change it, and then they say, if you don't like it, you got to leave, you got to get out. Again, imagine the example of a new group coming into soccer saying, it's got to be diverse, it's got to be 50% female teams, minimally. I think maybe we've been 100% male teams for too long. Maybe it should be 75% female. It should 50% female teams. If you're not female, you have to wear like giant ankle weights, around your ankle weights that you would wear around your ankle. Again, yeah. And then say, if you don't like it, get out. That is the problem. We are not the gatekeepers. The fans are not the gatekeepers. It is this Twitterati who I don't believe are real fans at all. I just think they're fans of the ideology. They're the gatekeepers. They're the ones causing the problem. And that's basically my take on it. I think, Emily, think you were a little bit off post this article. I can understand that why you would have done. I wish I knew more about the Twitter intrigue going on with you, Philip Morris, Todd Spilsbury. I really don't. Everything I've read from everybody, as I said, everybody sounded reasonable to me. So, okay, I hope to learn more about it. My name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.